It's day 4 of action in the AFC Champions League and a second game of the day in Group F. 3 of the 4 in the group of competition debutants, including Vietnam's Viettel FC. They take on the side that won every game on their way to winning the title last season, Korea's Ulsan Hyundai at the Pathum Thani Stadium in Tanburi in Thailand. It's a fascinating group, this one, with the newcomers earlier on today. KOR FC became the first team from the Philippines to play in the group stage. They were beaten by the side that play their home games here, BG Pathum United. A comprehensive 4-1 win for the Thai side, becoming only the second Thai side to win on their competition debut. Clear skies overhead, 30 degrees. We will have a drinks break unless that drops, and high humidity today, which will play a part in proceedings, that is for sure. We've seen varying weather conditions over the last few days here. Storms and monsoon conditions in Buranam the other night, but no such problems here. And the playing surface, perfect. It's a mix of grass and artificial grass. It'll be interesting to see how the defending champions get on in the defence of their title. There is Viettel from Vietnam, the most successful side in Vietnam. And what can you say about Ulsan Hyundai? Currently 4 points clear at the top of the K-League. They're ahead of Chonbuk Motors. Did only draw their last league game last weekend against Seongnam. They do have the best defensive record in the K-League at the moment. Viettel have just one game to play in their V-League season. They're second behind Hwang An Gai at the moment. They do have a better goal difference, so it looks like they won't be winning the title this year. Their only other appearance in AFC competition was back at the tail end of the 1990s. They played Suwon Blue Wings in the second round of the Asian Club Championship. They were beaten on that occasion, but looking forward to pitting their wits against the best in Asian football over the next couple of weeks or so. The 40 teams in the competition this year, we already have the Western section decided. The 8 teams have already made their passage through to the quarter-finals, so the round of 16, sorry. The round of 16 will still be played within association, so the Western sides playing each other in that round of 16, as will the 8 sides that go through from the East. They come together in an open draw for the quarter-finals later on in the year. Those knockout games being played in September. Only the group winners go through. 5 groups, 5 winners, and 3 of the best second-place teams making their way through into the knockout stages of the competition. It's important to get off to a win in these games as well. There's not too much recovery time between games. Every 3 days the teams will play up to their 6 matches. No crowds, of course, which is a real shame, because we've seen some quality football and some great goals already in the matches that we've seen thus far in the previous 3 days, or 3.5 days now, of action. But hopefully you're watching on TV somewhere around the world, enjoying the coverage. And if you've got a particular team, I hope you're nailing your colours to the mast and getting right behind your team, albeit from a distance. Familiar sight of the AFC flag, which precedes the arrival of the 2 teams. Stadium here, which holds, when it's allowed spectators in, just over 10,000. So BG and Pathum United play here. Bangkok Glass, as they were formerly known as. We saw them earlier on. There's a referee from Iraq. I'll give you the names of the officials. We'll give you the team news in just a moment or two's time as well. Viettel are the 7th Vietnamese club to play in the tournament, the first since 2016. Beckham X Bien Don Duong were in the competition 5 years ago. So Vietnamese sides haven't had the best of records. Can Viettel book the trend? So it'll be a tough one to start, though, against Ulsan Hyundai. The Korean teams holding the record for the number of wins in the AFC Champions League. They've won it 12 times, Korea. Their nearest challengers are Japan, who've won it on 7 occasions.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Viettel FC and Ulsan Hyundai FC.
So here come the two teams. Hong Myung-bo is the Ulsan Hyundai coach. Just saw him a moment or so ago. Heinz-Jürgen Gede, the technical director, he's the man that takes charge of Viettel for the AFC Champions League matches. He's not the normal coach, he's the technical director. Trong Viet Quang is the normal coach. But Heinz-Jürgen Gede, the 64-year-old German, using all his experience gathered across the years, not just in Europe, but also in an extensive career in Asia in playing and coaching as well, to try and get Viettel through to an opening 3 points in the competition. It will be a tough ask, though. The newly socially distanced way of showing your appreciation to your opponents before the start of the match. It's applause all around these days rather than handshakes. So it is very hot, it's very humid. Conditions will play a part. Teams breaking for their team photographs. Just out of interest, the games earlier on in the western section were played in Saudi Arabia, Sharjah. Temperatures there up in the 40 degrees at the moment, particularly in Qatar, where the finals were played last year. Let's take a look at the teams then. Viettel's team shows 3 changes to the side that beat Da Nang at the beginning of May. Number 28, Hang Duc, 33, Van Hao, and 93, Tan Bin are the players to come in. Viettel, as we say, currently lies second in the V League. There's 1 game to play. Kake will be the lone striker. Referee Mohamed Kasim Saray, he was in charge for 3 games in the western section back in April. 2 Qatari officials running the line for him. And Mr. Saray was one of the officials at the 2019 Asian Cup in the United Arab Emirates. Very experienced official, as most of them are here in this tournament. Well, Ulsan have lost their hero from last season, Junior Negrao, but it's still a talented lineup available to Hong Myung-bo. They drew 2-2 with Song Nam last week, and the coach makes 4 changes. Keeper and the back 4 remain the same. Sung Jun, Myung Jin, Kim In Sung, and Kim Ji Hyun are the 4 players to come in. Again, Kim Ji Hyun will play in the centre of that front 3 with Min Jun and In Sung either side of him. Lucas Hinterseer and Valerie Kazvishvili are on the substitutes bench, 2 of the foreigners involved. Chan Win Man there, the Viettel goalkeeper. Hoping his defence do the job in front of him. He'll look for a quieter night, but you can't guarantee that against the side of Viettel's quality, against Ulsan's quality, rather. So it will be Viettel from Vietnam to get us underway. Second game of the day in Group F. It's the AFC Champions League 2021. We're in Thailand for 3 of our 5 groups. The other 2 groups in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent and Buyundor. But here's the heat and humidity of Thailand that face these 2 sides. It's Viettel all in red that will kick from left to right in the first half. And an early free kick goes the way of Ulsan Hyundai. You mentioned in the team news there, they lost their top scorer, Junior Nigrau scored both goals in the final victory win over Persepolis last year. Scored 7 in total in Doha last season. He really was the standout performer. 67 goals in 94 appearances for Ulsan. He's moved on to the Chinese Super League to play for Changchun Yatai. Where will Ulsan's goals come from? They have got goal scorers within the team. All the front three have found the net in the K-League this season. But they haven't really replaced Nigrau with anybody of a prolific nature. That's what you need to have available to you. Ulsan on the attack early on. The ball ricochets around. It'll be comfortable for the goalkeeper. Chan Win-man. Good turn by Van Hau. Just had his way closed out. In-sung, nice ball inside to Bitgarup. In-sung's continued his run here. It's Doi Tung that's trying to keep him out wide. Chul. So Ulsan have won 10 of their 19 games in the K-League this season, just 2 defeats. Only Chonbuk Motors have scored more goals this season than Ulsan Hyundai. Ulsan have managed 30. Here's Bitgarup. In-sung. Defended well again by Van Hau. It's a nice touch. Hang Duck. Lovely ball inside. Here's a great chance for Viettel. Flags up for offside. It wouldn't have counted. But just for a second, the Vietnamese have opened up Ulsan. And they'll draw good comfort from that. Just what they would have wanted, just to get at their opponents in the early stages. There is Hong Myong-bo, somewhat of a legend among Korean football, was involved in that wonderful run to the semi-finals in the 2002 World Cup. Here come Ulsan back on the attack at the other end. It's a poor touch by Ji Hyun. It's in the side that beat Spain in the quarter-finals. He got the winning penalty in that shootout that saw them into the semi-finals. Remember it well, having been in Korea at the time. The sea of red everywhere. Be the Reds with the t-shirts they were giving away to people, and people watching games on big screens in the streets. It really was fantastic. Gus Hiddink, of course, was the coach back then. Never really lived up to those heights. They are perennial qualifiers for World Cups. Hong Myong-bo himself was the coach in 2014, but they failed to win a group stage game and exited at the first hurdle. There's Bitgarup. It is his first season in charge of Ulsan Hyundai. Kim Do-hoon guided them to the win in last season's competition. He departed at the end of the season. Somewhat belated whistle. It's a foul by Van Thiet. Min Jun, the player, brought down. You know what you're going to get with Korean sides. They're always very tricky, always very technical. Move the ball around nicely, get the ball out of their feet very quickly, which often draws fouls from the opposition. Yoon Bitguram with the free kick. It was almost a free header at the near post. It was completely missed. It's stabbed home. It's offside. It won't count. Well, they found a way through Ulsan, but the flag on the far side was up straight away. Not quite sure who it was who got the final touch just in front of goal. You'll see it from here. It went all the way through. It was, yeah, Min Jun, just a little bit slow to react. Don't think it would have gone in had he not got a touch to it. Good decision by the assistant over on the far side. No VAR in the group stages of the AFC Champions League. We will have VAR a little bit later on for the quarter-finals onwards. Some people would say that's not necessarily a bad thing, not having VAR. Goes back to the old-fashioned way of doing it. This is Chol with a throw for Ulsan Hyundai. It's the 9th time that the Koreans have appeared in the AFC Champions League, a 5th consecutive appearance, a club record. They've actually won their last 9 games in the competition as well. That is a current, or the longest current winning run. You see what faces Viettel. There's Dave Bultis at the back, the Dutchman. There's another shot which has just gone wide from Ji Hyun. Well, they're in behind once again. Well, he's looking, thinking that somebody got a touch on that. Ji Hyun timed his run in between the 2 defenders. May just have flicked off the inside of Boy Tianzung. Yeah, he did take a touch. Don't think it was enough to... I don't think he was actually going in. It was a minute touch. Ulsan had the ball in the net once, and now they've gone close. Foot up by Bultis. Ulsan played in the Club World Cup last year. The reward for winning this competition, they played Tigres and Persepolis from Iran. Most of the players on show today were involved in that game or some part in the game in the Champions League season last season. Jaha. Just forced backwards at the moment. You see that formation of the Koreans, the 3 men across the front. It means that they can press Viettel back, and they've been forced back to the goalkeeper, Chan Win-man. Touch from Kaiki. Wins the free kick. Viettel are based in Hanoi in Vietnam. 19 national titles, including 9 consecutively from 1971 to 1979. Their title win in 2020 that saw them qualify for this was their first since the late 1990s. Club that's really turned its fortunes around over the last few years. He's looking for Doi Tung. Chul. And Van Hau with it. Here's the clumsy challenge. Wasteful ball. So Yoon Bitgaram wearing number 10 in the middle there, won the most valuable player in the tournament last season as Ulsan went on to win. A lot resting on his shoulders following the departure of Junina Grau. Lee Dong-jun, who's on the bench as well, will be charged with getting goals. Flipped by Kaiki. Van Hau just runs the ball out of play once again. As we mentioned earlier, Viettel are the 7th Vietnamese club to play in the tournament since Beckham X Binh Duong in 2016. Only one of the previous 6 have won their opening match in the competition. Hoang An Lai beat PSM Makassar in 2004. The remaining 5 Vietnamese teams have all lost on debut. Foul by Ji Hyun, just jumping into Boi Chien Zung. There's Jaha going cross-field. Good ball over, Kaike, just offside again. Another good decision, but again they're looking to get those balls over the top. If Kaike would have just timed his run, he would have been in on goal. Hyung Mung Bio on his feet already. Trong Dai is the player just being told off by the referee. So pressing forward, took a slight deflection. It was an important interception because Bitgaram was just waiting for that to drop. On by Chul. Sung Jin. Ulsan in behind once again, no flag this time. There were 2 just beyond the last defender. But that was an important clearance because Bitgaram was poised. It was the second one. It may well have been called offside had either Bitgaram or Ji Hyun got to that. Just too high. Ulsan qualified effectively qualified twice for this competition. They automatically booked a place in the group stage by winning last season, but by finishing runners-up in the K-League, they also qualified as well. Same applies to the winners this year. They will go straight into next season's competition, whoever wins the tournament this year. Also won the AFC Champions League in 2012. Ulsan. That's Kaike, just fouled. Spent 5 years playing in Brazil before he joined Desportivo Aves in Portugal. Moved to Thailand 2019, played for Chiang Mai before moving to Viettel in 2020. 3 goals in the V-League season this year in 11 appearances for the Brazilian. He's waiting in the middle once again, just trying to hold off the attentions of Baltis. Van Hau. That's well played by Chul, who's won the free kick. May just have caught a finger in the eye as well. Hong Chul came on as a sub in the final against Persepolis. He played in 2 of the other games, including the semi-final. Bit of space here for Myongjin. Taiwan can't get the ball in play. Just popped up then for Kim Taiwan over on that far side. In his 150th league appearance against Jeju United at the end of May. It's a good mix of youth and experience in the Ulsan side. They've got several players over 30. Mix of players in their 20s as well, bringing the average age down. Myongjin just got caught then. It's a dangerous challenge from Hyundai, who was told off by the referee a few moments ago. Dave Baltis, the Dutchman, still 0-0 here, 18 minutes gone. Viettel have just managed to stifle the Koreans in the opening minutes inside the final third, despite the fact the defending champions have had more of the ball. Just wonder what the game plan is for Heinz-Jürgen Gede. Maybe frustrate Ulsan as much as you can. They haven't shown much of an attacking intent yet, Viettel. They did try and get in behind a couple of times, but were penalised by offside flags. It's Baltis. Good covering. Baltis just hesitated to turn away. He was under pressure from Hang Duck. Managed to guide it back to his goalkeeper, Hyun-woo. There's a little bit of pace about this front line for Viettel. You have to be careful. Don't want to be making any mistakes and allowing players in. That's given away by Chul to his opposite number 33, Van Hau. Here's Hwang Duck. Deflects into the path of Kai-Kei. Tries his luck, he's a long way out. That was always going wide. Hyun-woo makes a comfortable save. Here comes Kai-Kei again. He's been the main threat so far. Just missed by Tianan. Sung Jin joined the K-League in 1984 as Hyundai Harangi. Harangi meaning tiger in Korean. A tiger is very prominent on the Ulsan Hyundai badge. Founded the year before that in 1983. Play at the fantastic Ulsan Munsu Stadium. It's one of the stadiums used for the World Cup in 2002. Great atmosphere when there's a few fans in that stadium. Had more of the ball in the opening exchanges, Ulsan. Here they come again on the attack. It's Ji Hyun going near post. It's gone out of play for a corner. Looking lively, Kim Ji-hyun up front. Just the one goal in the K-League this season. Did score in 2 successive matches. Got a goal in the FA Cup against Gyeongnam and then Scored a penalty against JG United in the K-League, hasn't scored from open play yet this season. Sung Jun. It's a good overlap from Ulsan. Wide by Tianan. Pressure on here from Ulsan. Taewon. Everybody bar Kaike back behind the ball for Viettel. Chul. Bitgaram. Not finding much space at the moment, the Koreans. Viettel are closing down those gaps in midfield. Bultis. See pointing, looking for some movement. Myongjin. Bultis. Ki-hee. The captain. Kim Ki-hee. Kaike. Bultis across, good solid challenge. Jaha was just trying to get that into his path. Jonagir Abdulmuminov to give him his full name, from Uzbekistan, simply known as Jaha, the 28-year-old. He's making his debut today, having joined from Lokomotiv in Uzbekistan. Lokomotiv Stadium is one of the venues for this competition in Uzbekistan. Trong Dai trying to slip that one through to no avail, though. Ji Hyun caught in possession. Van Hao just had his ankle clipped by Chul. Be a free kick to Viettel. Weight of expectation on Ulsan Hyundai, of course. There always is. The defending champions, they come into a new tournament, it's always they that are there to be shot down by the opposition. See that as a massive scalp, or a massive shock if they were to lose their opening game. Probably feeling a little bit of that pressure. Side that's never been out of the top flight in Korean football. Ki-hee. Min-jun. Forward by Bultis. Bitgaram given away cheaply. Let's hit the referee. A drop ball under the new rules these days. Kaike. Good header again from Bultis, who's doing a good covering job along that back line alongside Ki-hee. Kaike playing as the lone striker. It's one of those thankless jobs. He has got support behind him, but fighting that lone battle when the ball goes forward quickly. Bitgaram. Ki-hee. Just allowed to run here by the Viettel midfield, but they've quickly regrouped and forcing the Koreans back to the halfway line. This is Chul. That's a good run and a nice ball. Bitkaram had taken up a good position out wide. Chul. Seemed reluctant to get the ball into the box at the moment. He was crying out for a cross, maybe from Chul the first time. Viettel have defended that well. Bitkaram. Ji-hyun needs to make ground into the area. There's a foot in there. And a shot from distance just goes wide. It wasn't too far away. Min-jun caught it well on the full. Not quite well enough, though, to beat Chun-Win Man in goal. Has scored 5 times in the K-League this season, Kim Min-jun. He knows where the net is. Scored in the last match on the 20th of June. That 2-2 draw with Seongnam before Korea made their way to Thailand for this tournament. We have seen some really well-struck goals over the last couple of days to get the competition off to a flying start. May take something with a little bit of quality here to break the deadlock the longer the game wears on. This is Kai on the chase. Hong Duk. Again, just breaking down in the final third. Just a little bit more purpose, a little bit more application in the final third, and Viettel might have been able to put Hyunwoo's goal under some pressure there. Chul. Good movement again on the edge of the area. Bitkaram just forces that one out wide. 3 waiting in the middle. Good cross, which was almost dug out there, but gathered by Nguyen Man. Viettel coming into this 7 games unbeaten in the VIE League. They did fail to score in their opening 2 league games. They picked up just a point from 2 matches. It was a disappointing start for them, but they managed to turn things around for the rest of the season and strung a couple of good runs together on their way to that 2nd place as they are at the moment. Previously known as Tae-Kong before they changed their name to Viettel. They were the former Army club of the Ministry of Defence back in their formative years. Became Viettel again back in 2010 and dropped the Tae-Kong. He's in Sung. Bitkaram. Myongjin. Taewon. It's patient again from Ulsan. They've won the free kick. You can see the number of passes that they've managed to string together. Jaha, the player that was penalised. Yeah, Bitkaram shielded the ball really well. He knew Jaha was coming. He committed himself to the challenge, and it was clever the way he just got his body in the way, drawing the foul, and it's a dangerous position, this. Nguyen Man, the goalkeeper, just getting his wall organised, played in all 12 of their league games so far. He's the #1 keeper for Viettel, despite the fact he wears number 26. You got the drift. Bitgaram and Chul over the free kick. It is Chul who struck it low, straight into the wall there. Might get a second chance to redeliver. Baltis, high hanging ball in. It's an awkward one for the keeper. Claimed it well there, kept his eye on the ball all the way then. Nguyen Man. Balled out to Kaiki. Wins the free kick. Has scored in 2 of the last 3 league games, Kaiki. Came into this competition with a little bit of form behind him. How he'd love to get off the mark in this competition. Jahar's made a fairly competent debut so far, the man from Uzbekistan. Reminder, it's only the top teams that go through. BG Pathum United beat Kaya FC in the first game in the group a little earlier on today. A 4-1 win for the side from Thailand, winning on their competition debut. Kaya will play Viettel in their next game, while BG Pathum Patel will face Ulsan Hyundai in 3 days' time. Sung Jun. Just been knocked out of their stride a little bit at times by Viettel. They haven't really let them play. I know they've had a lot more passes, but Hong Myung Bo and his side may have been found out a little bit. That's not Heinz-Jürgen Gede sitting on the bench, by the way. The technical director who's supposed to be looking after things for the Champions League matches, Trung Viet Huong, is the coach normally. Here's Kai Kei. Good tussle. Doi Tung trying to get down the byline. It's away by Chul. Driven over the top, not too far away. It was a long-range effort. Worth a go, though. Trong Dai with the shot. It was always rising over the top. Never going to trouble Hyung Woo. Trung Viet Huang, I'll say, sitting on the bench. Is Kai Kei. Van Hao, great looking ball in. Oh, it was just out of the reach. Tianan, I think it was in the middle. Here's Tianan. Huang Duck it was in the middle, and another long range shot goes just over the top, but that was a fantastic ball into the penalty area, and it just flashed across in front of Hang Duck. Interesting to see how far away that was from him when it came across. Good spell from Viettel. Spent a little bit of time in the Ulsan half of the field. They've only seen 30% of the ball so far in the opening 35 minutes. Is In Sung, skips away from the challenge. Trong Dai didn't really get hold of that one. Chul. In Sung. No real conviction on the final ball at the moment from either side, really, particularly from Ulsan. It's in by Sung Jin. Baltis. Caught in possession again. Kaike did well, held the ball up well. Down the line, looking for Hang Duck, but he'd gone the other way. He started off to go down the right-hand side, Hang Duck, but then just tucked inside, and the ball had already been dispatched in that channel. Sung Jun. He's comfortable at the back, Hee. Dave Baltis started his career with FC Utrecht. Spell at Nuremberg in Germany, Kabbalah in Azerbaijan, and latterly SC Heerenveen in Europe. Dave Baltis. Min Jun. Driven in, Ji Hyun Trust trying to bring that one under control. Shooting chance just over the top from Sung Jun. Ran perfectly into his stride, but he couldn't keep the shot down. Kim Sung Jun, who had a spell at one of the other teams in the competition, Cerezo Osaka from Japan, hasn't scored this season. Wasn't too far away, just a metre or so lower, and we could have been looking at a stunning strike just over the top. 6.5 to go to half-time. Still goalless between Viettel and Ulsan Hyundai. The defending champions not having things their own way. They've been frustrated here by the Vietnamese debutants. Away by Nguyen Man. Kaike, poor touch off the chest this time. Allows Sung Jun to swing the ball over. That was a good header from Tien Dung. Kaike. Just in behind Van Hao. All the way back to Hyun Woo in goal for Ulsan. Hasn't really had a save to make as yet. Bitgaram. Sung Jun. Almost allowed in Kaike. Would have had a clear run on goal as well if he'd picked that one off. This is Dave Baltis. Lovely ball through. Here's a real chance. Oh, just a slip by Ji Hyun. As he about to pull the trigger, was he clipped by Tien Dung? I'm not sure he was. There's no appeal from the... Well, there was a shirt tug from Tien Dung. There's no real appeal if you look, but that should have been a penalty. Clear shirt tug as Ji Hyun went to swing a boot. The referee's looking straight at it as well. Nothing given, though. It's a let-off for Viettel. That's a late challenge, and that'll be the first yellow card. So necessary from Trong Dai. Just trod on the foot of Taewon. 2 yellow cards and you would be booked for the next match, assuming you're booked in different games, of course. Nguyen Trong Dai goes into the book. Chol. Temperature must have just dropped below 30 degrees a little because we've not had a drinks break in this first half. We did in the first game. That's a great ball in again, and In-sung arriving at full stretch but couldn't get a touch. They're just starting the front three now to turn the screw a little on Viettel. In-sung, Ji-hyun and Min-jun just finding a little bit of space. That was close, wasn't quite in his stride. Van Hao. Three players around him, couldn't find a way through. Trong Dai, who was booked a moment or so ago. On by Myung Jin. Now Ki Hee. I have to say there have been times that Ulsan Hyundai have looked in control without really pressing their advantage home, if you like. They look comfortable on the ball, they're happy to play the ball around. You saw the number of passes, almost 3 times the amount of passes as the Vietnamese, but just that cutting edge that's left them at the moment. It's through again. Be a free kick to Viettel this time. Fouled by Ji-hyun, who was the man brought down a moment. Well, he had his shirt tugged a moment or so ago. It's probably one of those instances that teams wish that VAR was in operation, but it's down to the match officials. Final 2 minutes of the first half, and Viettel on debut have made a pretty good start here against the defending champions. Kaike's header. And by Van Hao. Just caught inside their own final third. Van Hao, good recovery there from In-sung. Although they're still in trouble here. It's away before Kaike could get a touch. Good header from Doi Tung. Won't be too much added time to go at the end of the first half. That'll be a free kick. Kim Min-jun brought down. Actually made his debut for Ulsan Hyundai as a 76-minute substitute against Al Dahail in the Club World Cup in the battle for 5th place. Scored his first goal in his second K-League game of the season against Guangzhou. He's got another 4 since then, the 21-year-old. Just a minute then to be added at the end of the first half. And a chance for Ulsan to just put one final little bit of pressure on Nguyen Man's goal at the end of this half. Bitgaram with the free kick, deep one in. Good hand by the goalkeeper. There were 2 players converging on that. Wasn't taking any chances. Could have pushed that back out into play. Fortunately, he went to an area where there were no white shirts. Chul. Sung Jun. Well, there goes the whistle, First half dominated possession, shots and passes wise by the defending champions Ulsan Hyundai, but they found Viettel from Vietnam, a tough nut to crack, and they haven't managed to break them down. Arguably should have had a penalty when Ji Hyun was tugged back just before half-time. It wasn't given by the referee. Kaikei's looked lively, found in behind the defence a couple of times to be denied by an offside flag. But at half-time here in Group F, it's Viettel 0, Ulsan Hyundai 0. Welcome back to the Pathum Thani Stadium. Stalemate after the first half between the defending champions Ulsan Hyundai and the competition debutants Viettel from Vietnam. All the stats favour the Koreans in that first half, but the main stat, goal scoring, remains level at 0-0. You can have all the possession, all the passing you like, but if you can't get the ball in the net, then it really counts for nothing. And I'm sure that will have been emphasised by Hong Myung-bo, the coach, at half-time. It's as though Ulsan have made a change at half-time. It's Chung Young that's come on. Not too sure whether there are any other changes. Just trying to listen to the man on the loudspeaker. And we'll find out in just a moment anyway. But Chung Young is on. Lee Chung Young, who's nicknamed Blue Dragon, which is literally a translation of his name. They have made a double change. In fact, Valery Kazishvili, the Georgian, is on as well. Simply wears Vaco on the back of his shirt. We'll confirm who's gone off for you in a moment. So it will be Ulsan Hyundai to get us underway for the second half in a change strip of all white for them today. Viettel in red. Ulsan kicking from left to right in this second half. 0-0 after the opening 45 minutes. They didn't really have too many clear-cut chances. They possibly had a shout for a penalty when Ji Hyun looked to have been hauled back just as he was about to fire in from close range. Not given, though, by the Iraqi referee. In Sung is one of the players that's gone off. Thought he had a decent half, actually, Kim In-sung. So the games do come thick and fast here every 3 days. It could be a question of just freshening things up for Hong Myung-bo. It is the opening game, though. You think they would be going to keep a settled lineup. Teams can use 5 substitutes, don't forget. 3 specific window, well, 3 at 3 place parts during the game. They can use those subs with the half-time is allowed as well. Half-time an extra one. Chance for Ji Hyun. It's him that's adjudged to have been pushing this time. Didn't really explain that substitution thing very well. You can make substitutions at 3 points at any point during the game, plus half-time. That's better. So 3 remaining for Ulsan. Viettel have kept the same 11 that started the match for the time being. Kim Min-jun is the other player that's come off to be replaced by Lee Chung Young. Kazashvili enjoying his first season at Ulsan. Made 15 appearances in the K-League, scored himself a couple of goals. Bultis. Ulsan looking to get on the front foot right from the very start of this second half. They'll be disappointed they haven't managed to get off the mark in that first 45 minutes. Got themselves a throw. Tomorrow we're back in Buranam for a couple of games in Group J. Soretsu Osaka from Japan against Kichi from Hong Kong tomorrow, and Port FC, another Thai team, taking on Guangzhou from China. Sung Jun. Bultis pressing forward, cross took a deflection, loops up kindly for Nguyen Man in goal. Hasn't had too much to do, the Viettel goalkeeper so far. Tienan. Wasted ball over the top. There's a purposeful run, but nothing on the end of it. Offside against Chol. Yeah, good decision. Ball just needed to be released a fraction of a second earlier. He'd started off on his run, Chol. Just wonder whether we'll see a little bit of frustration creep in towards Ulsan Hyundai's play the longer this game wears on. If they can't find a breakthrough, they've got the gold badge on their shirts, of course, as the winners from 2020. That's poor ball given away. That's well won back though, but won back unfairly. Jaha, the player, down. Yeah, just had his foot trodden on by Chung Yong. Chung Yong has taken over the captain's armband from Ki Hee in the second half. On a 10-game unbeaten run coming into this, the side from Korea, 5 wins and 5 draws. They won 4 in a row in May. It's their best run of the season so far. So they did have to battle to get a point against Seongnam last week, 2-2. Final league game before they came to Thailand. Good play by Trongdai. Keiki. Chase on here for Tienan. Should be easy for Taewon to get there first. Goalkeeper converged on by 2, but it's coolly done. Finds Dave Bultis. Vako. Makes ground into the centre. Nicely pulled back. There were 2 of them coming together on that one, and neither was able to take control of the situation. Just a lack of understanding, a lack of calling between Vako and I think it was Ji Hyun in the middle. Possibly Bitgaram. There's Vako again. Already seen plenty of the ball since coming on, the Georgian. Had a spell in the USA with San Jose Earthquakes. Vako. Myungjin. Very well organised Viettel. You can see how many bodies they've got back behind the ball. That's through the legs of Keiki. Ki Hee. touch on the edge of the box. There's no foul this time. Bitgurem, the player that took a tumble. There was too much in that. It's another tug of the shirt, but he has gone down quite easily. He knew the tug was coming. There's the ball into the box. It was Bitgurem and Vako. Bitgurem, I think, just caught Vako out the corner of his eye. It might have been better for Vako, who was facing goal. Just needed a call on it. Chung Yong. Taiwan. I think that's gone as a free kick rather than a corner. It was a good sliding challenge, it's seen by Viettel. He's off the ground though. Well, he's won the ball, but he has gone straight through the player and the ankle just rolled, as you saw there from Taiwan. I think it's the intent in the tackle. If you look, his feet are off the ground. Even though he's won the ball, that has to be taken into account. Referees would look at that. If both feet were off the ground, he could have been in some trouble there. Viettel. Looked a painful one for Taiwan, who just seemed to roll his ankle. Very easy just to do that and just stretch the ligaments. I think he's okay though. There's that ball in again that nobody took control of in the middle. Look at Vako's face. He was just looking to try and volley that one. Bitgurem's free kick. It's a slightly better position than a corner. It might be a little bit closer, to be honest. Into the goalkeeper's arms. Not a great delivery from that sort of angle. Plucked away by Nguyen Man. Rich Champions League history. Ulsan, we mentioned those victories in 2012 and 2019. They also went undefeated in 2012 when they won the competition as well. Reached the round of 16 in 2019 and 2018. Failed to get out of the group stage in 2017. Semi-finals back as long ago as 2006. They were impressive in the group stage last year. They only dropped 2 points. They drew with FC Tokyo. They won all their other matches against Shanghai Shenhua and Perth Glory. Beat Melbourne Victory, Beijing Guoan, and Vissel Kobe in the knockout stages. Tan Bin's challenge, no into the penalty that time. That's a nice flick, but quite find its intended target. Chung Yong. Good defending again. Kaiki. There's that ball through, but no real pace to get on the end of that. Baltis comfortably just shepherded that one across. It was Jaha playing it forward. Here's Chung Yong. Vako. How many red shirts are back behind the ball? They're fairly well spread across the pitch as well. That's what making it so difficult for Ulsan to try and find any space in behind. They've clearly come with a tactical plan here. They're making another change. Ji Hyun is going off, and it's the Austrian Lucas Hinterseer that's going to be coming on. Had a couple of seasons at Hamburg. Another player that made his debut in the Club World Cup against Tigray back in February. He also scored in that last league against Songnam last weekend in a 2-2 draw. No changes as yet made by Viettel. I should think the Viettel coach would be loath to make changes. His side have performed exceptionally well so far. They've really frustrated Ulsan Hyundai. Coming up to the hour mark. Haven't had a single shot on target yet during the course of the game. 3 from Viettel and 6 from Ulsan. All off target so far. Hyundai, KK, Tienan, just out of the reach of Hyundai. You could see what he was trying to do. He was always going to bend in towards the goalkeeper. He always felt that a left-footed ball there that was arcing back in towards the striker might have been the better option. Almost 3 times the amount of passes for Ulsan Hyundai to Viettel. Myungjin. Vako. It's nicely done. Ran into a red wall though. Kaiki. Doitung. Got some space now, but Doitung's just overrun it. I think with this heat and humidity, Viettel, who've given everything so far, will just have to watch a bit of tiredness doesn't creep in as the game wears on. I don't think the coach can keep the same 11 players on for 90 minutes. I think that'll be a very rare occurrence in this competition with the vigours of playing a game every 3 days. I think he'll leave it as long as he can, though, Viettel, before making changes. The side that are on at the moment, they've developed a really good understanding. They're working well for each other at the moment and frustrating the champions as well. There's a poor back heel from Taewon. It's over Kaiki, who was fouled by Ki-hee. I think he did well there. He knew that Ki-hee was coming. Just drew the foul from the Ulsan centre-back. Tanbin. It's given away no man's land again to Dave Baltis, who's got plenty of time here to find Ki-hee. Just that final ball at times, because they're playing so deep, Viettel, it's very difficult for them to press upon the 2 centre-backs of Ulsan. Kaiki and Hang Duck have spent a lot of time in their own half. if they could break away and get a goal, or maybe pick a goal from a set piece, it really would change the complexion of the game. It would mean Ulsan would have to come out a little bit more and show some more invention. This is Chung Yong. It's a nice ball if Hinterseer can keep it in play, but the flag's up for offside. He wouldn't have kept it in play anyway. Lucas Hinterseer, who's playing outside his native Austria or Germany for the first time in his career. 3 goals in 13 appearances in the K-League. Hyundai. Bolt is trying to force him out wide. He's won a corner. Well, it's good play by the central defender. Knew what he was doing, just made sure that Hyundai had got nowhere to go. But this is where Viettel might be able to capitalise. Good defending. It's away from the keeper. Good header. Van Tiet got the header in. Well watched by Hyun Woo. Maybe a touch of cramp, I think, for Van Tiet. It's a good ball in. It was well away from the goalkeeper. It was a good header. Just looking at the position of Tian Bin there, the number 93, if he had had the presence of mind just to nod that square, Tan Bin might have had a clear sight at goal. All in hindsight, of course. Viettel rather are making a double change. Van Tiet is coming off. Nok Sun is coming on. Vako trying to get the shot in, forced across goal again. There were too many red shirts back between him and goal. Only half cleared by Tienan. Ki Hee. Oh, Hung Duk felt he was fouled there. It was a good attempt to try and win that off Sung Jin. He might have had a run on goal as well had he managed to bring the ball under control. Taewon lifted forward by Chung Jun. Vako back out to Taewon. Vako still there for his cross field. Still that wall of red is protecting Nguyen Man's goal. Byung-jin. That's a good ball. Chung Yong tried for goal himself. Hinterseer was in the middle, but it was too high. And now the Viettel changes will be made. He went for goal, that's for sure. You can just see Hinterseer's position coming into the near post. A little dink into the box might have been the better option. Gok Sun is on. He'll drop into left back.
Replaced by player number 9, Sun Seung-hong. Player number 77, Dai Yun-dong.
Trung Dai has gone off as well. It's Nguyen Tang that's come on. So double change by Viettel, their first changes of the evening. Kai was caught then, but no foul this time. There is a foul now, in fact. Referee just waited a moment before blowing the whistle. I'm not too sure there was a foul. He just seemed to tread on the ball there. Kai wins the free kick though. won't complain. Goksun. KK. Don't forget, Ulsan have won their last 9 games in the competition. The exception to that was that draw in the group stage last season against FC Tokyo. Are they about to drop points in their opening group game in the defence of their title? We're into the final quarter of what's been a fascinating match. You're just waiting for something to happen from either side. You're waiting for an explosion of creativity from someone, and at the moment it's not coming. Maybe this one could provide it. Vako, who came on at half-time, was too much on that. It's offside anyway. Yeah, cramp's a little bit of a problem late on in these games with the heat and humidity. Reminder that these sides will be in action again on Tuesday. It'll be a game for Viettel against KOR, fellow debutants. While Ulsan Hyundai will play one of the new Thai sides in the competition this season, BG Pathum United. That'll be here. Pathum got off to a winning start earlier in their own stadium here. Haven't seen much of the ball at all, Viettel. Foul by Doitong. Myonjin. Goksun. It's over the head of Bultis, but Hyunwoo's quickly off his line. There were no red shirts high enough up the field to put any pressure on. KK still fighting that lone battle. He has had Hong Duk alongside him for a little bit of support in this second half, but I just think he might start playing a little bit deeper the longer the game wears on. That's gone all the way through to Nguyen Man. Tang. Bultis. It's Chung Yong. The longer the game wears on and you look at Ulsan, you look at their body language, they just seem a little bit devoid of ideas. Good ball in on that occasion. Just as we say that, offside flag was up once again. They've resorted to those long balls over the top. That was Chung Yong going in on Nguyen Man. There's just a little bit of a lack of creativity at the moment. There were 2 of them in offside positions then when that ball came in, Hintasir and Chung Yong. So the keeper made a good call on that. Didn't get there, may have just got a punch on it after it came off Chung Yong. Didn't matter either way, it would gone out for or it was called offside. Kaiki tussling away with Ki Hee. It's been a good battle between those two. He's a very competent defender. Had a spell at Al Salia in Qatar after leaving Daegu. Was a mainstay in Qatar last season in the competition and the Club World Cup. Another change made by Ulsan Hyundai. O.C. Hun has come on for Sung Jin. It's been frustrating this for Hong Myung-bo. Good pressure from Viettel on Myung-jin, forcing him back to Bultis. Still haven't had a shot on target yet, the defending champions. Running out of time, just over a quarter of an hour to go. Taewon. Bitgaram. He's a Viettel player, just maybe taken a knock on the arm. I think it's Jaha. They were trying to get the ball out of play so he could get a bit of treatment. They were just a man down for a second. Not too sure what happened then, but seemed to be clutching his left arm. Just took a knock on the elbow somewhere along the way, Jaha. The player's grateful to take on some water. Looks like we could be about to see another change as well. Hong Min. I think he's going to be coming on in a moment. Nguyen man up to Kike. Header won't quite fall for Tienan. Bultis. Bitgaram. Intercia. Gone for a corner. It's a good touch by the Austrian just to try and take him away from the defender, but again, as they have done all game, they've defended pretty well here. Viettel. It's going to be Van Hau that's going off and Hwang Min coming on, and it is a double change for Viettel. Mandung is coming on as well. Hong Duk is the other player that's come off as well, so starting to ring the changes now. 4 changes made by Viettel. Over comes the corner, glancing header across the face of goal. No one attacked it in the middle. Will just be kept in play. It's a good challenge. Is that? That's gone for a goal kick. It was Mandung, the man who's only just come on, that made the challenge. He was a little bit heartsy mad. He just tackled from the wrong side, and there was a bit of contact. Nothing to warrant a penalty, though, as it came off Taiwan. Well, this would be a surprise if Viettel can hang on. Hang on, I think, might be the operative word for the final 10 minutes. That's a foul. It's been a fantastic effort. They must have feared the worst when they saw that they were drawn in the group with the holders, Ulsan, Hyundai. But as we said earlier on, as holders of the competition, you raise your game because you know that they're a good side. They've got what it takes to be successful. Bitgaram. Now Bultis. Hinterseer. That's good play. Kaiki. Might be a break on here. That's 4 against 4 at the moment. Can they have a bit of conviction on the end of the cross? Seen it's too high for Kaiki. It's plucked out of the air by Huan Wei. Well, that was a great break. That's the danger at the moment. Ulsan, I think, are going to start pressing players forward because they're going to be desperate to try and get the 3 points, and it might just play into the hands of the Vietnamese, who might be able to capitalise on a few spaces left in the defensive line for them. Chung Yong. Wouldn't sit for Hinterseer. Away by Gok Sung. Vako. Good challenge again. That's a foul. That's a clumsy one. Hu Tang, the man who's only just come on, giving the free kick away on Bitgaram. He turned his back, Bitgaram. He knew the challenge was coming, got his body in between the ball, and there's always going to be a foul from that point onwards. Hong Myung-bo off his seat once again. Bitgaram is over the free kick. Bit of precision lining up of the wall. Opposition players can't latch onto the end of the wall these days. They have to be a metre away. Bitgaram and Chung Yong are the 2 players over the free kick. There are 2 players, or Chung Yong rather, is in the wall. It's Myung Jin over the free kick. It is going to be Bitgaram. Up and over. Well over, in fact. Didn't get any dip on that at all. Yoon Bitgaram. Frustrating for the holders. There's a player down injured here. It's Kaike that's gone down again. He's needed treatment on a couple of occasions. I think it's just cramp again. So the way that he landed wasn't ideal. Still goalless between Viettel, the debutants, and Ulsan Hyundai, the 2020 champions. It's been a game that I suppose you could say has been a war of attrition, really. They've matched each other stride for stride in midfield. Ulsan have had the more of the ball, they've had more shots. But it's been defending like that that's kept Viettel at 0-0. Push wide by Bitguru. Still, they've got players back behind the ball making tackles. Away by Tienan. It's an Ulsan throw. Clock ticking down. Nervous looks on the Viettel bench at watches, knowing this would be a huge point for them. The Vietnamese sides haven't fared well in winning in terms of their opening games, but avoiding defeat can often be valuable in a game like this. It would leave BG Pattern United in control of the group after the opening game, after they beat Kaya 4-1 earlier. And so they play Ulsan next on Tuesday. Here's Vako. Digs across that once again. Tien Dung with a header away. Hook clear by Jaha. Everybody back behind the ball though. Chung Yong. Good ball in, keeper came, didn't quite get there, it's a foul. Brave goalkeeping from Nguyen Man. That's a good leap, he's got every right to go for that. Sehun, it's there to be won. Brave goalkeeping as well. Goalkeepers are always going to take a hit when they come out like that. Secured their first title win last season since 1999. Viettel edging out Hanoi by a couple of points, and they haven't come here to make up the numbers, that's for sure. 3 debutants in this group, don't forget. BG Pattern United, Kaya FC and Viettel. And it's, at the moment, very much BG and Viettel's day. And also have just a couple of moments to try and snatch a late victory here in the defence of their title. Imperious last season when we played the knockout stages in Doha in Qatar. Kaikei spins clear off Mandung's challenge. Tienan. Kaikei. Tienan won't keep that one in play. It wasn't a bad idea. Another change about to be made. It's Kaikei that's going off. I think he's just struggling from with a bit of cramp at the moment, which you need fit players on at this stage of the game. If that little bit of cramp turned into an error. Vu Minh Tuan is coming on for the last few moments. I'll hope these substitutions don't disrupt them too much. They have made all 5 now. Viettel. Another long ball in, but another long ball that's sailing behind for a goal kick. It's the biggest AFC Champions League ever this season. 40 teams involved. And they've got the tactics board out, but they're running out of time to try and implement anything. Have still got 1 substitution to make. Ulsan. They've only got 2.5 minutes of the 90 minutes to go. There'll be a little bit of added time. Here's Hwang Min. Doi Tung. Bultis. Towards Hinterseer. It's another good header away. I think just anywhere will do now for Viettel. Won't be too bothered about trying to put Hyunwoo's goal under any pressure. Here comes the change. Bitgaram has gone off.
Replaced by player number 20,
Shin Hyung-min is the player that's come off, hasn't scored this season. Played in 4 of the AFC Champions League games last year and both of those Club World Cup matches. And they had the tactics board out. I just wonder what they're planning on getting him to do for the last minute or so. It's a nice touch. Man Dung it was with a touch, then Viettel give the free kick away. It was Hu Tang telling off from the Iraqi referee. Need to get everybody back behind the ball and get some marking involved. Min Tuan is a little bit too close still. Won't want to incur any unnecessary yellow cards either. It's good to see we've just had the 1 yellow card in the game so far. It's headed away, and it was an important header as well. It looked like it was dropping. There was appeal for an offside flag, which never came, and it very nearly fell there for Ki Hee, who's pushed forward. 4 minutes added time, we're into that now. And some more defending to do for Viettel. Some height in there with Hinterseer and Bultis. But it's a free header right in front of goal. And it's gone over the line, and it's Luke Hinterseer that's got the final touch. And Ulsan Hyundai have snatched the 3 points now, surely in stoppage time. Viettel have just switched off for the set piece. Well, he'll say that that final change when they had the tactics board out has worked. But it was a free header. They've allowed Si Hyun to head the ball down, and it's, well, I think it may have gone in off Tan Bin for an own goal. That's unfortunate. Yeah, the own goal I think it will be given against Tan Bin, but the hearts are broken for Viettel. A brave effort for 91 minutes, and the defending champions have got themselves in front. Hinterseer was making a nuisance of himself, and you just can't switch off in football, however long it is, 95, 96 minutes. And Viettel have just allowed a free header in the box, and it's cost them. You could see the reaction on the faces of their players. They've given their all for the last 90 minutes, and it looks as though they're going to finish up empty-handed in their opening group game. Hwang Min. Min Tuan. All of a sudden, they're putting pressure on. That's well done by the goalkeeper, Hyun Woo. That was a cool pass. Under pressure. Hinterseer's header. Chan Bin with the clearance. Pretty certain the own goal will go down against him. Well, they have given the goal to Luke Hinterseer. He'll be quite happy with that, I'm sure. Tan Bin will be happy not to have an own goal against his name as well. It was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but it's Tofan Koyen Man who's done well in goal. It's their first effort on target as well. Vako penalised. It's a cruel game, football. For long periods it looked as though Viettel would come away with a point, but that late goal in stoppage time has been their undoing. They'll certainly take heart from the performance. If they can play like this in their remaining 5 matches, then they could well be there or thereabouts. Only the top team goes through. Don't forget the 3 best second place teams also go through. It's Vako that's down injured at the moment. Well, I think the goal now, as you see, has been changed to an own goal from Tan Bin. And ultimately, Ulsan won't really care where the goal came from. The fact that they've got a goal was the main thing. It's a free kick to Viettel. It's a tough way to lose a game. They just switched off. The marking in the middle just wasn't there. Si-hun with a free header. He knows his side have got out of jail here. Hong Min Bo will certainly look for better performance in their subsequent games if they're to press and try and retain their title. Well, there goes the full-time whistle. It's tough on the Vietnamese debutants who gave their all throughout the 90 minutes. The 16 players that have featured with the substitutes as well have just given everything, and they've been undone right at the end. Si-hun's header, Hinterseer challenged Tian Bin, and it was the Vietnamese defender that got the final touch to deflect it in past the goalkeeper. It's a cruel way to lose a match, but the defending champions are off and running with a victory in their opening game in the 2021 edition as they look to begin a successful defence of their title. Baltis was great at the back. Kaikai didn't really have too much room to spare. Tough to take. Another game in 3 days to try and recover. It's finished here. Viettel 0, Ulsan Hyundai 1.